I grew up like a savage.
How do you feel? And I have a criticism of, not because I think he needs to add this to his game unless he ends up in a different system, but how do you feel about Klay coming off the dribble?
Klay's gotten a lot better at it off the dribble.
I feel like he's a quirky guy.
He got before he couldn't do it at all.
Okay.
Right? He's gotten to the point where he's got a first step and he can get to a spot in 2 dribbles.
If
right?
he had a crossover, he would be dunking on dudes all game.
I feel like, I mean, look, he getting the max deal, so you can start expecting that stuff from him. But I do think sometimes we get a little carried away with the 2K nature of it. Be like, all right, now add this. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
I don't necessarily want that from Klay. Like, I'm cool with what he's doing as long as we're in the system.
Nah, he need to do more now. I mean,
but he was doing fine before.
Yeah, he was. He was doing fine.
Klay
here's the problem with Klay. Klay is incredible, right? Especially like Game 6 where he goes incredible. The problem is when Klay isn't incredible, everybody just talk about Steph and KD.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Forget about it.
So like when he's incredible, all right, Game 6 Klay is incredible, right? But you need him to be good for Game 1, Game 2, Game 3. And I do feel like, man, the way he flipped the switch in Game 6, like, that wasn't fluky.
Nah.
That wasn't like, oh, here's Klay. You know,
he has
some of his stuff do feel like, okay, he just got hot.
Right.
But nah, that Game 6 felt like Klay, like, man, I'm about to dog
he
you.
holds back. It's like he's holding back.
So I am expecting that switch. But, man, like, I remember this, might have been Keith Smart, who was assistant coach at the time. He told me, everybody good in the NBA until they got to go against the scout. Right? Like, you nice, but when the team starts game planning against you, when they saying, all right, yeah, you good, you got your little jumper, we taking that away, right? Like, that's when you find out what players really can do. So now players are just like, we going to press up on Klay.
Yeah.
So I feel like he got to have that cross. You see what they doing to Steph, they just like, look, let's just take him out the game.
Yeah.
Like, just forget it. Like, nah. They ran a box and one. Like, we ran that in
high school.
CYO. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was like, they literally just had one dude chasing around Hogan.
I got to ask you about getting into this thing and being a team and being KD coming over and being a brotherhood and the infamous incident, man. KD getting into it with Draymond.
What incident is that?
Right.
KD getting into it with Draymond, man. Like, how did you? What was your take on it?
Man, I wrote a pretty extensive piece on it, but first I must say that I wasn't there. I saw it go down on TV.
Okay.
So and then at that point, you just kind of got to be a reporter and find out what happened. So my take on it was, Draymond handled a team issue in the most wrong way possible, right? But it was a team issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was definitely an issue. It was an issue. I do feel like I get, like, I kind of get both sides. Remember you talked about this culture of chemistry and sacrifice, and you know what I'm saying? Like, but them dudes, like, they came up together. They lost together. Remember they lost to the Clippers in the Donald Sterling series. You know what I'm saying? They done been through the fire together. So they kind of all believe in that. Man, Kevin Durant been a beast since he was 16.
Been a beast.
Like, so, like, he worked his whole life to get to the point where it's like, all right, now I'm the top dog. And with the top dog, you get to have free agency, right? You get to have your moment where it's like, all right, I'm a free agent now. I need all y'all to, like, cater to me and tell me what, you know what I'm saying? Like, options open. Like he really got to the point where his move set the whole league. You know what I'm saying? Like, we saw LeBron do it. Remember, people forget Kobe was, like, about to go to the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? Tim Duncan was about to go to Orlando. You know what I'm saying? With Grant Hill. So, like, that's like a rite of passage as best player in the game status.
But coming from OKC and everybody having these criticisms of Kevin Durant, which I never did. I personally had more criticisms of Russ, right? Russ to me is, and people always say, well, Paul George did it. It's not the same. First of all,
Paul George did what? Lose in the first round?
I believe KD is much more sensitive than that. I don't believe he's a person to argue. I don't think he's one of those confrontational guys. You know what I'm saying? And if you know different, let me know. But it kind of reminded me of the Russ and KD relationship. Like, he loved him. He didn't hate him. You know, they've been through a lot together, but it's like, this thing has came to an end. We not going to win together.
You know, KD, man, I wrote about this in the book. You know who KD remind me of is Pac.
Yeah.
Like if you ever listen to Pac, like you might get 5 different dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll get a dude who's ready to ride and you know what I'm saying, like shoot up the whole club. Yeah. And then you got a dude who's like, yo, man, we need to do better with our women. Yeah, right? And then we got a dude taking care of, man, let's look out for the youngsters, right? And then we got a dude who's just like, you know, political.
Revolutionary.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's really like a textbook case of multiple personality disorder, right?
Yeah.
Like KD is the same way. Mm-hmm. Like there's a part of him that grew up on AAU basketball and pizza after the game and everybody kicking it and going to the coach's house. And he loves that stuff. That's why he came to the Warriors.
That's why he plays at Rucker or
something. Right? Yeah. That's why he loves it. There's also a part of KD who's like, yo, I'm the best dude to ever do this.
Right.
And y'all better see this. I feel like that's always at war with him. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a constant battle of, nah, man, I'm cool. Like, I just want to be one of the guys to, I'm Kevin Durant. Y'all know who I am. You know what I'm saying?
You know who I am, right?
I'm real.
You know who I am, right?
I think
y'all
that
know
was
who
it.
I am.
His first year, he got to the Warriors, and he was like, yeah, man, I'm just one of the guys. Look at how y'all play. This is beautiful.
I love this.
Right? Yeah, this is great. And then the next year, it's like, yo, I'm kind of standing over here, and Klay and Steph is jacking up shots, y'all. Let's not forget that I'm a beast out here, right? Like, so I do think he goes back and forth. From last year, I saw, you could see him, man. KD loves the young dudes on the team. Yeah. Loves the young dudes. Love giving them advice. Like he, you know, I'm a 10-year vet now. This is what I'm supposed to. Like all that kind of sappy basketball stuff, like he all into that. Yeah. But he's also the dude who's talking about, y'all know who I am.
Y'all know who I am.
I'm Kevin Durant. I'm about to go drop 50. I feel like that, like with Russ, it was the same thing. Yeah, no, we're a team. We're brotherhood. And then it's like, all right, Russ, do you know who I am? Right. Run the rock.
Run the rock.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I gotta ask you this because when you saying that he's the veteran dude, he give the young dudes advice and all that. Quinn Cookie grew up with him. Yep. And they come from the DC area.
Yep. PG County, baby.
Is there a reason that you think all these players with all their power? Because it seems like he always ran from the idea of going back home.
Most players don't want to play at home.
Okay.
Home is too much work.
Okay. Unless you from LA.
Well, LA is so big.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some people they love playing in Miami.
Yeah.
Destination places.
But who want to play at home? I'm trying to think.
Because you think catering to your friends and
family.
Yeah,
you got it's all kind of pressure at home. You got to deal like that's you can get away.
But it seems like to me, KD runs from it more. At least people.
Nah, he don't want to play for the Wizards.
It don't seem like he even shows up.
But it's like Wizards. All these dudes hang out in LA anyway.
Yeah,
LA or Vegas.
Vegas
because it ain't no tax, so they live in Vegas, so they don't have to pay taxes. Or LA, like that's where they all at. Yeah. That's where the business is at. That's where the kicking it is at. So, like they all turned out by LA. So now, wherever they was at home. LA is now home.
Now you got Oracle. This is going down in here. All these celebrities showing up. Jay-Z, Beyonce's, Rihanna's in here. I mean, you name it, they here, right? All these tech guys, right? I met the owner of Snapchat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people's here, right? Chameleonaires in there talking about investing. This the place to be, right? The Warriors is up. They like this super team, quote unquote, which. I think that's bull because if that's the case, that Houston Rockets team that added Pippen, Barkley, and there's been real super teams with Hall of Famers.
Them dudes was old though.
But they wasn't drafted.
They wasn't washed.
They wasn't washed. After Houston that just went back to back, they got these guys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
they wasn't washed.
Yeah, they wasn't washed. But with all of this stuff going on, and do you start to see the social media, the media, ESPN, because it's an everyday story, do you start to see all this stuff become distractions? For instance, like Aisha on Red Table Talk, she talks about not getting enough attention. And then, do you see the difference in the way Steph is performing? Do you see the pressures, or when Draymond and KD has that little spat, and then they try to get back together, or whatever the thing is, or when somebody like Iggy is talking about playing hurt. You know, when you see these things, do you look at them as distractions, or do you see it weighing down on the players?
Nah, if you do, it's only for a little bit. What I've learned is these dudes are masters at
They get over
compartmentalization.
it. Okay.
I mean, they've been doing it their whole life.
Right,
How many of these dudes been playing with their mom on crack? They ain't got nothing to eat. Like, they've been doing this their whole life.
Masters of
Remind me of what Dame said when they asked Dame something about being hard. He said, "No, hard is being in the hood.
Yeah,
When
like,
it's ugly. Like,
This,
you know what I'm saying?
they've been figuring out a way
I've seen that.
to put everything aside and focus on basketball their whole life.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Durant literally saved himself on the basketball court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
where that was his sanctuary.
Sanctuary,
Like,
yeah.
where I wrote in the book how he had this one gym. Hey, remember how the gym would close and then open for the night run?
Yeah.
He would just stay there and sleep. Like, I don't want to leave the gym.
Yeah.
Like, he was that, like, but that was like a safe space. So,
Yeah.
like, Steph's focus is nuts.
Steph
It's
is
crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
the
worried
way they
about
can,
Jay-Z and Beyonce sitting over there.
the way
ain't
the
even-
way they can turn it on. I mean,
Oh.
we talking about the great ones. Like, we've seen, the ones who shook. Like, you
Yeah,
can see it
yeah,
in they play,
yeah.
right? But these dudes, man, these elite dudes, like, did like 2 games later, Durant and KD like dapping.
Right,
I mean
right.
Durant and Draymond, they like dapping and
yeah.
playing and dropping. Remember in the All-Star game, it was KD and Russ beefing and they
Right.
throwing assists to each
Right,
other. Like,
right.
they've been doing it their whole lives and saying basketball's here. Like, this is the place where I'm gonna escape to. So I usually see it work the opposite, where you're like, nah, he gonna be messed up.
Yeah.
He gonna be messed up, and then he doesn't. This is why when you see a player, somebody die, they have a great game. You know what I'm saying? It's because they just channel that extra focus because this is what they've been doing.
Out of these finals, was the greatest challenge and the worst defeat the game, the second championship run at home, or this last one against Toronto?
The Cleveland one. Because
Cleveland.
they had that.
Yeah.
Like the last one they lost this past year was like one of those noble defeats, right? Where when you go down, everybody's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all gave
like
it
that's how you
y'all.
go out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That dude Klay
We understand
literally
everybody's
walked
hurt.
out of the tunnel with a torn ACL and
was
tried
shot
to
free
stay
throw.
in the game.
It was a Kobe moment.
Yeah.
No, he shot the free throws
And
and,
went
then
back
went back
on
to
defense.
defense. They literally fouled in the bonus.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
fouled and gave him 2 points because he wouldn't come out the game.
Exactly.
If that hadn't just happened to Durant with the injury, does Klay finish that game?
Oh no, he could. I
No,
mean,
he
it was a
couldn't
torn
finish that.
ACL.
Yeah, torn, yeah.
Like, they knew it off the bat. That's why he left the court. But they were
I
like,
never
oh,
seen nobody jump up and down with a torn ACL. That was sick.
He did one
That
of them
dude
knee
is a
jump, like
he's
one
a
of them
robot.
jumps where
He was just
bring his
jumping
knee up.
and exercise. I'm like, what the hell?
He was
is
trying to
dude-
make sure that thing
What
was
is
they
really
told him
ripped,
he was
huh?
done.
What is he made out of?
They told him he
But
was
they
done.
told him he was done.
Is it true that his dad ran down there too to make
Oh
sure
yeah,
that he was
oh
done?
yeah. They told him he was done, but they were like, but Klay was like, I'm coming back. And then somebody told him if you don't
that
shoot these
free
free throws,
throw,
you're
you can't come back in.
disqualified. So he went
Right.
back to shoot the free throws. But he was trying to come back. Then he got out there, was like, I'm good, let's play. And they're like, no, like, you can't play. Can you imagine what his agent is thinking? Like, we about to
do
sign a max deal. Like, what are you doing?
Some longer term damage.
Before we get out of here, I gotta ask you this. And this Kevin Durant injury, right? Iggy,
You know
implicates.
he don't like that, right?
what?
Iggy.
Oh, you don't like
You
that?
don't like that?
People don't care, but he'd be like, man, what? Don't call me
The
Iggy.
fans get Iggy with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Man,
no
I
question.
hate when people call me Cletus. Fucking, just anything
Cleophas.
other than Cle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cleophas. anything
That's
else.
so funny.
So, you know, I feel
That's one of the little
man.
locker room things where he'd be like, man, don't be calling me that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Nobody
Feel
else
Iggy,
really
man.
care.
Yeah.
Everybody say it, but he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, don't be calling me
Do
that.
they call him that in the locker room? Like,
Nah, they don't call him that.
You don't
But
gotta-
like media and all that.
You don't
will
got
say it.
to. They call him Dre.
They call him Dre, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
They
But,
call him Draymond Day-Day, and they call him Dre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when KD gets hurt, they saying calf injury, and it's sore. He's putting the ice real low. Everybody's saying that's something else. Now at this point, do you believe it's damage to the Achilles, or do you believe that it's actually a calf injury?
I believe it was a calf injury because he would have told me it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk to him one-on-one.
you know, man, I just couldn't find the reason why they would lie about it. That's my question. Like,
But
everybody
looking
has
at
an
it-
agenda.
But looking at
Looking
it when
at
it
it, looks
happened,
suspect.
Yeah,
Looking at
when
it,
it happened-
suspect.
no, like when it happens, like why is the ice so low?
Why is the ice so low?
Yeah.
That's what everybody kept saying.
That's
and
what I
not
was
just when the ice, not just the ice being so low, the way it happened, as far as like knowing how they say the Achilles is, like it's like somebody kick you or somebody, you know what I mean?
Oh, you talking about when he first injured it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Achilles.
Yeah,
The
that's
way
what
he
I'm saying.
turned around and looked like something, I was
Exactly.
like, oh, that's Achilles. We all thought it was Achilles.
Yeah.
We all press
I-
everybody
that's the
press forward
first
was
thing
like,
came out.
wow, he just tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they
Same
all
thing.
thought.
Kobe, they always look back like somebody kicked
Kobe,
him.
I was
Yeah.
at that game. I covered that game when
Oh,
Kobe
really?
tore his
Is that
Achilles.
right?
He turned around to Harrison Barnes and was like, "Did you kick
Did
me?"
you kick me? Yeah.
Barnes was like, "No."
Yeah.
And then he was on the free throw line feeling it. He knew that was it.
Yeah.
Damn.
That
Crazy.
the crazy part about this is that Kevin Durant. There were 3 doctors that cleared him: the Warriors doctor, his own doctor, and then an independent doctor.
Wow.
Like, man, it's a whole
The
bunch of
own
people
doctor and the
involved.
independent
Yeah.
doctor. What's the difference in his own doctor and the independent
It's
doctor?
like, you got your physician, and you go get a second opinion.
Somebody-
Like he went. So
He definitely can't feel like
then
the
he went
franchise
and got.
over
So he got his own doctor, somebody he know. And then he went and got another one.
Let me go get this
Yeah,
other
just
opinion.
like
And so
somebody
they're
don't know.
all assuring him it's not Achilles.
Yeah, they all saying, and not only that, they're saying like you won't do anything more, like you good. There are people who believe the Achilles was a separate injury that would have happened
Because
anyway.
they're saying the calf holds the ligaments
Yeah.
and it controls kind of the movement.
I don't know how you can say it ain't connected
I don't either.
Yeah.
because they're
Got it.
literally connected.
They're
Yeah, they
literally
connected,
Literally
man.
connected,
Yeah,
like-
exactly, man.
So
Yes.
I don't know,
Right.
like I mean, look,
I believe without getting back in the game, he needs surgery.
I would be okay with that. I
I
wouldn't be
believe
surprised
if
by
he
that.
never came back, that he still needed surgery.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know
by that.
about all that, but I do think like the ice and all that shit that they did before he came back in, like without him just warming up and just going out there and jumping on that
If
thing.
you remember, he got in the game, hit those shots real
3
quick,
of 'em.
sat down, and had ice.
And then
had
came
ice,
back
that's what
2
I'm
minutes
saying.
later.
So on here, where was his rip? Like,
had ice, and
See,
then
that's
he
the
came
Achilles,
back.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had
Yeah,
ice,
it's
and
connected
then
to
went
the
right
calf.
back out there on
See
the
that
floor.
tendon
Yeah.
go straight
That's
to the
right here?
calf, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I think did it, because he
see
sat with
that?
that ice.
right.
Yeah, no, I know all about it. I was hooping with somebody
Yeah.
and it happened.
He sat with that ice, and then he went right back out there on the floor without warming that thing up. None.
I mean, you could argue he shouldn't even went back out there.
Yeah,
Like,
at all.
He played
And
12 minutes of the first 14,
I
15
think that
minutes
I
of the
think
game.
that was enough. That was a threat. Like he
But
could.
look, I will say this though, like KD ain't one of them dudes that is letting people tell him what to do.
he gonna
Yeah.
go do what
Like
he
he
wanna do.
wanted to play. That's why he played. He wanted to
He
play.
wanted to play. He
wa-
wanted
like,
another ring.
Yeah, he ain't one of them dudes that's like, oh, they're gonna pressure me to play. I mean, if they would have pressured him, it would have been to sign a long-term deal.
At the end of the day, one thing KD can say about his decision to ever come here, he left a 2-time champion
And a legend.
and a legend and a Finals MVP
2 times.
2 times.
And he's like, if he would have come back, which I still think he might later on.
Come back to the world.
Can you imagine if he came back to the Warriors? He's a legend.
He a legend.
He just blew.
Wait, hold up.
He gave his
You
Achilles.
think he gonna come back to the Warriors?
No, I think like
He could
in
later
2
on.
years he might be like, man, I probably should have stayed.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
How many people have played with Kyrie and been like, yeah, this is great?
Yeah.
No, man. I think that's like the worst.
So,
But they boys
They
though.
homeboys, yeah,
They
but it's
boys,
like
though.
that never works.
I
though.
mean,
yeah, it never works.
I'm gonna
Chris
give it a
Paul
fight
and
chance
Chris
'cause they
Paul and
boys.
Yeah.
Chris
Some
Paul
friends
and
can-
Harden was boys too.
Yeah, right.
So I want to.
They left out.
I'm assuming. Well, I'm not assuming. I know he's down for a year. He comes back. I'm figuring Kyrie is already wrecking the team by then. You know what I'm saying? Him and his dad. You know. And then when he comes back, they just not gonna get it together. But also,
They're gonna have to restructure.
I want to get your
everything, huh?
predictions for the Warriors upcoming season.
I got him at 50 wins. 6th seed in playoffs. A lot of it will depend on how Klay look when he come back.
Okay.
I mean, we know Klay coming back, but you kind of just don't walk in
Right.
back at how you was as an
Right.
ACL. So
Right.
we'll see how he is. I do think people sleep on D'Angelo Russell.
I was just finna
The
ask
dude is
you
a
about-
number
He a
2 pick
beast.
Right.
Yeah.
who can ball.
He a beast.
And he's not little. Remember we talking about Steph not little?
Yeah, he
that
not
dude
little.
is 6'5" with a 7-foot wingspan.
He a beast.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, and he I think he like 210. Like, he is not little.
No, he an animal.
Yeah, so
And his defense is cool.
so you know, I feel like they have a chance to surprise people. And here's what I say: like we've seen these dudes for years. I mean, when have you put Draymond and Steph like on the clock and they not perform?
Right.
Like when
Right.
have you said, all right, these dudes is out and they not produce? Even when they lost, Draymond had the greatest Game 7.
The greatest.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Greatest.
unbelievable. Like they even if they lose, them dudes show up.
they
and
show
they
up,
produce,
yeah.
and you just know Steph about to go for MVP.
You know it. You know
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
Steph, which is the real risk though. I think the one risk they have is injury.
it. Injury.
Yeah.
Like if
Man.
they 30,
Going too hard.
Steph
His
31
fingers
now.
is broke, or was his fingers broke?
Yeah, he dislocated his finger.
Yeah.
Like he had sprained his
Cortisone
ankle.
shot it up.
He gonna be all healed up by the time
But he's
So-
so fragile, he breaks.
But
so
if you run him into the ground, like that could be a problem, right?
Yeah, that's
So
definitely gonna be a
That's
problem.
the one thing that could bother them is injuries. If they don't get injured, I feel like, man, that's a team you
It's
just
a
not
good
gonna want
run.
to see.
You
in the
not want to
playoffs.
see him. Yeah.
Exactly.
But low key, I kind of need a first round loss though. They need one too. This going to June is every year.
how are they gonna defend?
You know what I'm saying?
How they
Like
gonna defend LeBron and Anthony Davis?
they not.
They ain't gonna be able to defend them.
Who guarding them? The,
Yeah,
the
who?
dudes who would have defended them gone.
Yeah.
Like you gonna put Draymond on Anthony Davis? All right.
Nah.
So they just gonna
He,
run.
although
No, Draymond does
although
well against
Draymond
Anthony Davis.
has frustrated the hell out of
Yeah,
Anthony
Draymond
Davis
does well
before.
on Anthony Davis, but I don't like they had Iguodala, Klay, Kevin Durant to guard LeBron.
Iguodala
None of them
was the
dudes will
best-
be there.
Iguodala was the best one-on-one
Y'all
defender
gotta
against
think
some
too.
superstars.
Though. I'm gonna just go say this. I'm gonna throw this out there. Maybe it's me being hopeful, but people come to the Warriors, man. They know they gotta step their game up. So I'm saying, don't count out the Stein youngster, man. You know what I mean?
Willie Cauley Stein?
Yeah,
You rocking
yeah.
with Willie Cauley Stein?
I'm rocking with him.
I mean, like
Because I wasn't
said,
rocking with
he got
JaVale
a-
like that at
he
first.
got
I
a-
like JaVale McGee.
He on
Curry
a
didn't see
championship team with a championship coach with Steph Curry.
That's the one thing that I will say that you can always say. Everybody plays better next to Steph.
Yeah.
Like there's
And that's
nobody,
that's the only thing I'm hoping for. That's it.
Nobody you put. I mean, that's the solution to every
And Steph
struggling
open
player.
up that floor.
Yeah, he
Because
just-
D'Angelo going to be cutting.
Yeah.
He going to that basket.
That's the
I
only
mean, think
thing.
about it. Like the Toronto Raptors just gave you a blueprint for what to do with Steph.
Yeah.
But it just opens up the floor. Like everybody,
Yeah.
they just didn't have anybody who could take advantage of
But,
it.
but you know,
Yeah.
they tried that
D-Lo
before.
can.
After the first year, everybody was like, we got it all figured out with this Steph thing. They went after Steph, and everybody else stepped it up.
So yeah, I feel like
They didn't
D'Angelo
have
Russell
the
is gonna
bench
have
D-Lo
shots he
gonna
never
be
seen
the-
in his life. Like
Exactly.
he's gonna be so open.
It's
Now-
gonna be,
now-
and
now before-
he could make them.
Before we get out of here, I want you to plug both of those books real quick and tell the people where they can get them anywhere. But
Yeah.
the first, which one was the best seller? The first one.
Golden, The Miraculous Rise of Steph Curry. That tells the story of like how this happened.
Okay.
You know, because Steph believe it or not, I mean, we watched him a little, we seen him grow, but for the most of the world, that dude just came out of nowhere. He fell out the sky.
Yeah.
Like, in our culture, we knew who the stars were when they were 15.
Right.
Nobody knew who Steph was at 15.
Nobody.
He just popped up, and all of a sudden, he took over the league.
Only
like,
person knew was that dude that be sitting in the first row with that Davidson jersey.
He ain't know. No.
I'm just playing. I know he did. He probably went to Davidson or something weird though.
Yeah, so this Golden explains like how this happened and what went into making this dude who he was.
Okay.
And KD is really like a full biography where we start from when he was born.
Oh, wow.
And take you all the way through, like just and the makeup and the context that created him.
Okay.
Like I learned a lot about KD. Like stuff just makes sense when you know his story. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, now
Yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
Like it makes sense. People don't even know, man. He from the same hood as Lynn Bias.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. Like Lynn Bias.
That's a thing.
So it's like when I found it out, I was like, yo, I could get 20,000 words out of that. You know?
He really had the pressure of the hood on his back.
Right? And think about that. The
Yeah.
same hood who had their star, and he was supposed to be like the man from that town. Remember, they would compare him to Jordan. He
Right.
was number 2 pick.
Right.
He was about to be it. He was next. He was their hope, right? He was their son.
Yeah.
And then he dies before he ever plays a game, right?
Yeah.
So you coming from a town like PG County, it don't happen twice.
It don't happen. It
You know
don't
what I'm
happen.
saying? And like 6 months after it happened, this dude was born.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
crazy.
So, you're right. Like that's where it's like, man, he was supposed to be here. Like this, he would like this been set up for him. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the road and all of the stuff that he went through. Like that dude's life is crazy, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We know crazy lives, and sometimes we act like it's trite because we see it all the time. Like it's normal. But when you really just get into the details, you be like, yo, this dude's life is crazy.
Let me start some sneaker beef too, real quick. Did you notice Under Armour started to do a lot after KD got here with Nike, and they started doing a lot in the community?
Yeah, but there was a little beef with that because Nike, when the first championship, Nike took over, and Under Armour people didn't like that.
They
They
didn't
was
like
like, we
that.
don't do that out here. We don't
Yeah.
do that out here. But
Yeah.
Nike was like, remember they had to debate this
Yeah,
in the
debate
sky.
this.
man?
Yeah, it was
And
big.
it was like, you know, there were some people from Under Armour who felt like they were trying to show up.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But I also do know a lot of it is driven by Steph, who just
Steph.
loves
This is his
Oakland.
area.
Like,
Yeah,
he
this is
loves
his area.
Like, and he's one of them nostalgic type dudes who all that stuff matters to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So he
He
really
was
feels
actually
that.
emotional when they wore the We Believe
Man, he
jerseys that
feels
last game.
that.
Yeah, he was
if
emotional.
if you were to give him some truth serum, give him all some Hennessy,
Yeah.
and be like, tell the truth.
Yeah.
Like, if I had to pick a dude who didn't want to go to San Francisco, I'd pick Steph.
It'd be Steph.
Right,
yeah,
just because
yeah.
like he was raised
yeah.
in
Yeah,
Oracle,
in
like
Oracle,
and
yeah.
he and it was people who were riding with him before this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like he felt it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It wasn't even a show either. We were talking about it behind the scenes. Like
Yeah.
he felt it. Like and then, you know he ain't even from the hood either.
He ain't.
So
Nah.
it was like this was his hood.
Yeah.
Right.
This is-
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He from the suburbs of Charlotte.
You're right.
So
right.
he was like, yo, like
It's finna be
this
way
hood
different over
accepted
there.
me. You know what I'm
Accepted
saying?
me.
So
Right.
it's gonna be way different.
gonna
Way.
be
Yo, they
way
got
different.
suites over there that don't have windows to the court.